Hey, this is Dave and Rich again at houseparents.com. Today we're going to talk to you about gutters. We've been inundated with quite a number of questions and comments about this previous gutter job that we did a couple years ago. And we just want to go ahead and answer some of those questions and talk you through that, help you understand if you have a project involving guttering, help you understand what you're going to face and what the options are. Right, question number one was about using silicone on your seams. And there's the seam that we had, did. That's about 2 years old. We're gonna pour some water on it and look at it. But that's the way all the seams look. We use the actual gutter seal that came with the gutters. If you look at the manufacturer specifications for silicone, it's an outdoor product. It can be an outdoor product if you buy the right kind. It has a 20-year life. So it's gonna last a lot longer than your gutters probably will. So it's if you buy the right kind of silicone, I wouldn't be worried about using it on your gutters if you can't find or don't have the gutter seal that comes with a gutter setup like this. Question number two had to deal with gutter slope. You can see the fascia is larger at the bottom there than it is at this far end. We have a slope of 1/4 inch per 10 feet. And there are a lot of comments saying everything needs to be flat, and other people saying, no, you have to have a slant on your gutter. The standard, the most common suggestion is you should have a slope on your gutters. And I think if you just think about it logically, especially in the wintertime, do you really want water sitting in there and having a chance to freeze and build up? And so to me, it makes a lot of sense to have some kind of slope. You can decide what that slope is, but yeah, we obviously opted for the standard 1/4 inch per 10 feet slope. The third question had to do with how you attach the end caps to the gutters. You can see on ours we used the screws, self-drilling, self-piercing screws. That's following, again, the manufacturer specification. Many people were talking about crimping the gutters, and that's certainly an option, the gutter ends. And other people were talking about pop rivets being the most clean look and yet secure, and that's also an option that you can do. If you have a pop riveter, that's probably what we would choose. We just didn't have one on hand, so we did with self-piercing screws. However you're going to do it, you're still going to put gutter seam sealant in between the gutter and the end cap. Regardless of how you do it, you're still going to have that seam covered. Question number four. Should you use what we used, sections that you buy at your big box store, or seamless? That was a hugely debated topic, and remember, we're doing DIY here, so there's a challenge in how to get seamless gutters. We want to give a shout out to Josh. Josh had a great suggestion. He said go ahead and call a seamless gutter company, give them your measurements, and have them drop the made seamless gutters off. And then all you got to do is secure the end caps, which are the inside or outside corners, like these right here, inside or outside corners. All you got to do is attach those, and you'd have a seamless section of gutter. That's a good thing, because even when we put these up, we had one of these 3 seams fail after 2 years. So if you're doing it all the way around your house and you're doing 10-foot sections all the way around your house, you know, you may end up having 4 or 5 leaking seams depending on how far that's going. So if you're trying to do it yourself and you're trying to save money, and you don't want a pro company coming out and, you know, doing the whole house in seamless and paying for that, the good compromise to us seems like have the seamless guys drop you off gutters if they will, and you're probably going to be somewhere in the medium price of it all, but in the end you have fewer seams to worry about. You can go ahead and just cost it out and figure out which works. Some people think it'd be about the same cost, others maybe not. So once you cost it out, you can figure out what works for your budget and your abilities and go from there. Question number 5 was the drip edge being above the gutter. This is a problem. This is the drip edge that was installed on our house prior to us hanging the gutters, and it is admittedly short. And the problem is, depends on how your shingles lay, whether all the water runs into the gutter or whether it runs back against your drip edge and then behind your gutter. So we'll show you here on our particular application. So when it's raining, that's kind of what you want to have happen. But if it's a really light rain, then you want to see how that water, if that water is going to back up underneath the gutter. And in this part it doesn't, but here it's a little flatter. So we'll try this and see how this works. So again, as far as our particular application goes, the shingles hang over the gutters and the water runs right into it. If your shingles were particularly flat and water ran back this way and then down the drip edge, they're going to run behind the gutter and you got a problem. And to address that, you can buy flashing or sheet aluminum that will tuck under the drip edge and into your gutter, and that'll solve your problem. It's just an extra step. As suggested online, maybe the better thing to do would be to go ahead and get a taller drip edge so you have a little more coverage there. All right, question number 6, and that has to do with the material strength of the gutters. You guys noticed that we didn't put ladders up against gutters. Our purpose was just because we didn't want to mar it. That the gutter itself, I think the question was whether it was mild steel or aluminum. Whatever the case, we wouldn't lean our ladders on the gutters. And these are magnets, and they're not sticking to the gutters. They do stick to the screws, but not to the gutters. So I think they're aluminum. But whatever the case, here's the deal. These are strong enough to have a ladder against them, but why would you want to mar the surface? So we chose not to put ladders up against the gutters. It's just it's personal preference, but nothing more than that. Question number 7 had to do with the placement of the gutters on the fascia in reference to the slope. And the goal is, in the perfect world, that you want the slope of the gutters to just come right over the top edge here, so that if a big thing of snow was sliding off your roof, it wouldn't take your gutter off with it. There were some people complaining about we put our gutters too high. And basically, there's the magic. So if a big thing of snow is coming across here, it's going to slide over the gutter. And yet, if it drips, if the water drips in here, it'll drip in the gutter. So that's placed correctly. Now, we've had these gutters up for about 2 years now, 2 winters, and everything's been great. These are been strong. We just got done with a big 60-mile-an-hour, a day of 60-mile-an-hour winds, and these things are rock solid. And these hangers are if they're spaced correctly, you're fine. And that's one more question. People were concerned that we had placed these hangers kind of randomly. The perfect placement is wherever you have a 2x4 that's behind your rafter tail, wherever your rafter tail is behind the fascia here, like so this is your rafter, and that'd be your rafter tail, and then your fascia would be on here, and your gutters would attach through the fascia into the rafter tail. We didn't have to worry about that because our fascia is about 1 inch thick. But just in case anybody's worried that it was just going to fall off, these are on, they're rock solid, they're not moving. It's good to know what your fascia consists of, so you know if it's going to hold or not. And if there's any doubt, find the rafter tail and screw through the fascia into the rafter tail, and you'll be happy. Right now, we're going to go ahead and just pour this water in here just to show. It's been 2 years now, and so we're just going to check for leaks and see if we have anything worth repairing. So I'll pour it on this seam right here. We have sprung a leak. And just check that one down there. So I guess that one's good, but this one's no good. And I think I can see why, but that's food for thought. Here, let me, for this stuff we used the regular gutter seal that came with the gutter stuff, but I can see a gap. And if I can show you right there, I think that's where it's going. So if you ever had a gutter leak issue, that would be what you'd be looking for. Now, the only way to repair this again, is a silicone or a the gutter seal that came with it, but you have to do it dry. All right, of the 3 seams that we have here, after 2 years, this one leaked and the other 2 are fine. Question number 8 had to do with, okay, now you have a leak, what do you do with that leak? Is it going to cost a lot? And people were talking about, oh, this is why you don't do section gutters, because when you get a leak, it's going to cost so much to repair it. We'll show you in an upcoming video that repairing this is pretty simple. It's not rocket science. It's not going to cost you a lot. More than anything, it costs you time. So that's a consideration when you are trying to figure out, do I want to go ahead and have to worry about doing repairs a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 down the road, or just have seamless and limit the number of repairs? That's for you to decide. All right, so the last question is, do I do seamless? Do I do, big box section gutters? Do I have pros come out and do everything? A lot of this will just depend on how deep your wallet is and what you're up for. The whole purpose of our channel is to show people how to do it yourself, save yourself a lot of money in the process. If you got anything out of this video, go ahead and hit the like button and please subscribe. We've got lots more videos coming and we'd really like you to see all of them. Thanks again for viewing. We'll see you next time.